Good to see you, Barry. Thanks for coming today.
So welcome again, guys. Here with Hamish Pettit from Face Value Cleaning Services. We've obviously very conscious in Hamish's line of work, but also in the current environment that we use our social distancing. So Hamish has just had a new baby who's a touch over 50 centimetres long, and we've measured ourselves 3 baby lengths away from each other. So we're social distancing, mate.
Spot on.
So, mate, what we've had a bit of discussion about it. What this series is about is kind of getting to know you and your business and where you're from and what you're doing to adapt and evolve in a changing and uncertain environment, particularly being your line of business. But to start off with, give me and us, I don't know, a 5-10 minute origin story.
5-10 minutes.
5 to 10 minute. Give me a Hamish origin story. Where did you come from? How did you end up where you are? You go.
That's
Hobart?
I was born at Calvary Hospital, Barry. I guess I grew up in Glenorchy and had my first job when I was 15 at Chicken Feed, of all places. Sandy Bay, and I've done a few other jobs in my time. Worked at Centrelink, worked in sales, worked in the sporting industry as well. Probably the longest thing I did was real estate, like yourself, which I quite enjoyed. Eventually got out of that and did finance and insurance. And an opportunity came up to start up a business, which I had a crack at, and now I'm sitting here running a business with I think 8 to 10 staff now, which is quite exciting. So yeah,
cool. And let's go back a little bit further. Obviously, working from a young age, and sounds like you've worked your way through a few different jobs. What have you always been an entrepreneur? Like you're starting up an own business now, but this is your first business venture, is it, or have you tried other things?
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff that I've had cracks at when I was younger, like, buying, selling cars and stuff like that. Obviously, it was never a business, but it was just something to make extra money with. And there was always working for other people, and I was always going, I could do that better. And yeah, that's how Face Value came about.
So you've kind of always had the itch, as it were.
The itch to do my own thing instead of following the crowd.
Yeah, okay.
So,
and where do you think that came from? Like, as a young kid?
I guess when I was a kid, I used to do a lot of stuff with my dad on Sundays. I used to go to the Sunday market.
Yeah, out of Glenorchy?
Yeah, when it used to be underneath the shopping centre.
Yep.
Before they did 7-day trading. So I used to go down there and watch my dad bargain and negotiate and stuff like that. And that's where I got the itch to do some bargaining, negotiating myself, and then buying and selling. And that's why I got into the sales roles I've been in. And then it's just eventually just turned into how can I put that into place and run my own thing. So
and what kind of stuff were you selling with your dad or watching your dad?
Dad just bought junk, to be honest. He just bought, and he'd come home and think it was an absolute bargain, and it would just sit there for 20 years and never get used. It was stuff from like Dad worked at Boyer paper mill, I think it's called Norski Skoog now. So it was just about, he just bought like electric engines, like for machinery and stuff like that, and from timber to steel to just crap. And I went through a phase of liking Garfield, so then I'd go and negotiate and I collected all this Garfield stuff, and I never sold it, but I don't know where it is now.
I was about to say,
I don't know where it is. It's probably at Dad's house or Mum's house, something like that. But it was just about trying to find that passion that you like buying, and then But Dad got into that, and he thought it was the best thing ever, but he never used half of the stuff. So,
and so fast forwarding a little while, obviously you've been running a very successful cleaning business for a period of time now. So how did that come about? Talk me through that process. Had you done any kind of cleaning before?
No, but I worked for, as I said, with the other businesses I've been in the small businesses and large businesses, and the business I came from was obviously a big commercial, like was the car industry, and then people always complaining that jobs weren't done right and stuff like that. And it's just like, well, this can't be that hard. So an opportunity came up with one of my good mates who was put in a position where he needed a job because he got made redundant from his other position. So, and I was working at the time, so it was, I had the opportunity to invest some money and say, let's have a crack, and it just went from one level to another level to another level to another level, and it just got busier and busier and busier, and it was. I thought it was just going to be kind of like a bit of a hobby to start off with, and just to go, I'm comfortable in my job, I'm making good money where I am, but it just grew and grew and grew, and then eventually he wanted to try different things, so he got into the building game, and as you know, I had to pretty much leave my other job because I couldn't manage it by myself, or couldn't do two jobs, and it's in that way. So,
and what would you? And you're right. I have been I've been around since day dot, so I've seen that growth and exponential growth at that. What would you attribute the success and the growth down to? Is there a reason, or?
I think it's the background, as I said before. As I said, I've had a few jobs in my time. So being in the sales role and maybe understanding what people want, and then understanding what I wanted when I couldn't get it when I was working for other people as well. So to offer a service where follow up, quality, just that experience with other people for people, then they always come back. And then obviously, being Hobart, as you know, it spreads like wildfire, and people just talk about you.
Yeah.
So, and hopefully most of the time it's been good. So you're going to get your occasional clients, and they're always going to be happy. But my goal is to make sure that everyone's happy. If we go to a job and my guys haven't done, 100% job, spot on job, we'll go back and we'll sort it out. And there's plenty of companies out there that'll just fob it off. And as I say to all my guys, it's the 1%ers. It's the one thing that matters. You can do, you could do it all, 99% great, but that 1%, if you don't do it, everyone remembers you for not doing it right. So it's just about making that thing count. So
making sure that you're going that extra 1%. Then,
yeah.
Yeah, okay. I like it. And
so is that going to be one of your new taglines? 1%ers?
1%ers.
Yeah. It's all about the 1%ers.
No, we already do that anyway.
Yeah.
No, I would imagine, and I've seen some of the challenges that you've gone through, but if you were to look back at the inception and initial growth period of getting into business for yourself for face value, what are some of the biggest challenges that you faced back then, and how did you overcome them?
I guess it's like any business when you start, and why a lot of businesses fail is there's a lot of expenses when you start, and a lot of people. What I found especially in this game, is being able to communicate and the people to like you. I'm not saying everyone likes me, but it's about and knocking on everyone's door and just pushing and pushing and pushing until you can build that business. So I think it's from constant, just like a dog at a bone, but not come across as, I'm desperate.
Yep.
Just, if you do a good job and you got all these systems in place, to me, you can't fail. Yep. It's only if you take your foot off the accelerator and just start coasting, that's where stuff doesn't work. So, and you need to know from the start. When I first started, I was doing when I obviously left obviously the comfort of obviously a full-time position to doing this. I've gone from working 20 hours a week on a business that I had someone else help me with, and I'm doing 40 hours at another business, which I just could turn up, do the job and go, to go into doing 80-hour weeks. And my wife runs her own business as well, so she understood, and I feel guilty sometimes because I was working so much, but she understood that start up a new business, you have to put the effort in, and that's where people might fall short, is you need to be, what's the saying, you need to be the first one there and the last one to leave. And it's the same as with your business. I can't blame anyone else and go, well, the job didn't get done because of that or that or that. The buck stops with me, because being the owner, being a boss, you need to be there and you need to get it done, and you need to push it hard for your staff. And yeah, you just got to put in the hours.
Yeah, yeah. So if I could summarise that, would you say what sets your business apart, and it's certainly the startup sense of it, against those that may not have succeeded? Would it be kind of the persistence and the focus, or
Yeah, it's just
what do you think what's the key?
you have to have a clear goal.
Yep.
And that's one of the things I've learned from you as well. You could have, and I still have many ideas about other things and other ventures I want to do, but it's about having a clear goal, but making it simple. If you've got a simple direction, you go, well, if I get to here, then I can go to here, if that makes sense. So it's just about having the clear goals. It's like, all right, so if I need to have this kind of income, I need to have certain amount of contacts, certain amount of regular work, and then coming from the real estate side of it as well, and how social media's evolved. It's about being like having your finger in every piece of the pie kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that social media is a big thing. That when I did real estate a few years ago, that's when it started to happen. But I was like, oh, you don't need that. I'll just use the Mercury printed stuff and stuff. But it's everything. Like, I mean, I'm not even on it, but like kids, you and everyone goes on about TikTok, Snapchat.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even on Snapchat. I'm not the best when it comes to technology. A lot of our stuff's on social media.
Yes.
Like obviously Facebook. Somehow, and you might have to show me. I've got a linked account to Instagram, but I don't even know how it's linked to it. But it somehow feeds there, so I've got an Instagram account.
Yes.
I think Charlie might have set that up, but it's just about having that, to backtrack. It's about having a clear direction.
Yeah.
And then you get to that point, and then you reassess and go again.
Yeah,
So I don't think I ever had the actual goal of having this amount of staff, because obviously it's with any business and anyone who understands or been in business before, the bigger it gets, the more moving parts you've got, and the more complicated it gets, and then the more systems you need to put in place. But when it's just one or two people, it's pretty much a walk in the park. But then it gets bigger, so that's where the business is changing now, and we've just put on an operations manager to be able to look after a lot of the stuff that I can't focus on, because one of the things I don't want to fall on the wayside is our quality. And we're not just a cleaning company. Our other saying, which I'm trying to push now, is there's cleaners and then there's us.
Yeah.
So I want to separate ourselves from just the generic kind of like cleaning company to all these different things we can offer, and the quality and stuff. So then everyone just knows who we are.
So let's talk about that. So as a business, yes, it's face value cleaning services. What other things? So let's talk about what else you guys offer as a business. Talk us through that.
With like what we like products and stuff with it.
What else are you doing?
We go from builders cleans, end of lease cleans, carpet cleans, window cleans, upholstery cleaning. We do rubbish removal. We do landscaping. We do pretty much anything you can possibly think of around a house, or even commercial sense. We do.
Yeah.
And if we don't, we've got connections in other trades and stuff like that as well.
Referral services.
To put you guys on the right people, because the people that we would refer you to, we would use.
Yeah.
For ourselves, I'm not going to refer people to someone just to fob them off to get them to, so we can't do that. And the guys we're referring to, we don't get any kickbacks. It's just about supporting small business, and then everyone can just prosper and grow, and then they return the favour by referring us. So
yeah, I like it. So kind of almost a holistic package kind of solution for somebody. If they're asking you in to get one thing done, you can kind of go in there and consult on everything else that's there that might also need to be done at the same time.
And that's where we've got to a point where people are more familiar with our brand and what we do and stuff like that. But people occasionally would, when we first started, would call us in for a window clean.
Yep.
And so is this an end of lease clean? Oh yeah, well we do this, and this.
Yep.
So then we end up doing the whole lot, and then doing other ones, and then
nice.
And then just cascading through there, and it's just just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, okay.
But all that, and one of the things, what I've said before is we always strive on quality and dependability. So that's one of those things we don't want to let our customers down. We want to have the quality. So all our guys are trained. Everyone in our workplace can pretty much do what the other person can do. It's not like
nice.
that person can only do that and that. We need to be all universal. Like
Yep.
what do they call it? An all-rounder.
Yep.
So,
multi-skilled.
Yeah, that's it.
So moving forward, you've gone through the challenges of setting up a new business, the expansion and sort of growing pains, as it were, as you go through that. And then COVID-19 hits. Talk me through some of the challenges your businesses face, because you're kind of on the front line with a lot of these things.
Yeah.
What you guys have done to adapt, evolve and deal with those challenges, and how has that positioned you now that we're right in the thick of it?
Yeah, it's one of those things that kind of shocked me, because there's a lot of a lot of cleaning companies that were closing doors. But since we're across the mix with a lot of different types of cleaning and services and stuff like that, we didn't notice a massive change. I mean, some stuff picked up. I mean, we got all the guys, to do the COVID-19 training that the government put out to make sure that all our guys are across the board, because we don't, as I said, we want to make sure our guys are trained right.
Yep.
So the sanitised stuff picked up a lot more.
So there was specific training in and around.
Yeah, it was just obviously the government had a thing that came out. The guys did it was just a basic training, but it was just across the how to obviously deal with it. Anyone can get on there. I'm happy to put a link up on our page and people can have a look at it and just follow it. More of it just common sense, but I want my guys to, and I want them to know it's a serious thing.
Yeah.
Because some of the feedback you get from people were, I don't have to. It's probably nice. It's maybe the Tasmanian thing. It's not going to happen to us.
Yep. Okay.
But you need to be prepared. So if anything, excuse my French, but if shit hit the fan, you guys are ready.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were weren't prepared enough, and that's why they closed their doors and all that other stuff. But business, we just added that extra bit. So with builders cleans and certain things, we just added that extra protection for, you can't guarantee you're going to stop it, but if we can add that extra value to that customer to make sure their clients are happy, that's what we did. So, and it's just about constantly just evolving and working with it and stuff like that. So
So you're able to identify the challenges there, put systems in place to deal with it, and you haven't seen a drop off or influx, like it's kind of just business as usual.
I mean, your regular office stuff, because obviously everyone stopped going to the offices and working from home, like yourself. So all those kind of things dropped off, but then other things would pick up. So your sanitising stuff would pick up elsewhere, and other businesses will stay open, and eventually when everything reopens, it'll be back that way. So it's just about making sure that you don't invest in one space. And that's what issues with obviously that people have had. They've invested in one space, and when it's going great, it's just awesome. But then that side drops off, and then you're just going, oh crap, and then that's why people are losing their jobs and stuff like that, because they haven't been invested, into more than one thing.
So. And this is kind of what the series is about, adapting to things and changing and kind of what next. And it sounds like you've really managed to pull that on board. And again, we've spoken about this a little bit, but there's also been a few challenges with you, again, being on the front line and being in an environment where you might not be around people as much, but you're certainly in environments and literally cleaning things up so that other people are safe. What are the challenges for you? Talk me through your daily routine when you get home from a day of work.
Well, the hardest thing, obviously, before I could get home was to try to get all the safety stuff for our staff. Because, it was worldwide. There was a shortage of sanitizer, like people couldn't buy anything. It was just crazy, gloves, but somehow Jason and I just persevered and tried to find anywhere we could get and pay whatever we could pay for stuff to make sure our staff was fine. But I've got 3 kids, and my kids are getting homeschooled now. A lot of our other friends have got kids at home, so they don't pretty much see the light of day around here, but they don't really go anywhere else. So,
Yeah.
but I'm obviously everywhere, and I got to you got to be real about it. I'm touching other things, when they talk about doorknobs going through buildings, and it could have been heaps of people come through it. So my process would be pretty much, if the camera was around that way, when you walk in my door, pretty much just strip off naked, walk straight to my bathroom. I'd strip off naked, put it in the laundry, and then go straight in the bathroom, and just obviously I had to wash myself head to toe to make sure that anything I had on me, I could give maximum protection to my family.
Yeah. And that's got to be a challenge in itself, and a bit stressful for yourself.
You just can't be bothered. But then as I said, with social media, it's probably the most powerful tool. You see all these stories and stuff on there, what's going on, and whatnot, and so you just got to do it.
Yeah.
And you get yourself in a rhythm.
Yeah, nice.
And it's pretty nice. It's nice that when you do it, you have a bit of downtime, sit in the shower, reflect about the day. The kids aren't annoying you yet, and you don't have staff talking to you. You don't have stuff fires to put out. You just have downtime and just stand there.
I like it.
My son walked in the other day and said, dinner's ready, and he goes, "You're always just standing there." Like, I'm just standing there going in the shower, just thinking. You just try to just relax for that.
So good.
Yeah,
I love it. Okay, so I really do, and from me, and I'm sure everyone that's watching or listening will agree with me that there are a lot of people on the front line, such as yourself, that I know myself and many other people are really grateful for the work that you do and the risk that you put on yourself and your staff to enable everybody else to get along. So thank you very, very much for that point of view.
It's all part of the service. Said to my wife.
And to that, where can, if people wanted to take advantage of your services, where can they find you? What's next for you guys? And where to from here?
Well, you can just look.
Where can people find you?
I mean, everyone's pretty much on Facebook these days, so. And I'm sure that you're going to put a tag on your on this video, so they can click on your tag on there, or they can just look up Face Value and it comes straight up. Face Value Cleaning Services.
Yeah, okay.
We're in the what's the word? The mix or whatever? Not the mix. We're in the process of getting a website started as well.
Okay.
So then people can click book jobs, and then it goes straight into our calendar.
Yeah, okay.
My number's on the Facebook page. It's just just
fantastic.
Pretty much straightforward to that. We've got, and then you can check all our obviously recommendations from. That's what we always say to all our new clients as well. Don't take it from me. I can say, I'm the best in the world. My company's the best, which I think it's one of the best.
Yeah.
But that's where you need to, past and clients that we've used to just, everyone's putting recommendations up, which is awesome.
Yeah,
so
excellent.
that's what you're going to trust, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not like 3 or 4 recommendations, but when you got like 50 or 60 recommendations, I think you're doing the right job.
Yeah. No, I reckon you probably are, and I've read some of them. So
yeah.
And what next? What's in the future for Hamish and Face Value and the staff?
Mate, who knows?
You don't know?
No.
Onward.
I think I was talking to you today about it. It was just one of those things that the way the business is going, as I said, we'll put a manager in place now, operations manager, to help us keep growing the business, and eventually that I can step away and hopefully have, not hopefully, but I want to. One of the reasons we go back to talking about why I do the business I do, or be in business, is because I actually like the satisfaction or gratification, the feeling of giving someone a job. Mm-hmm. And knowing that they've done a job and they can support their families and all that stuff. And if we can create a business where you're just not a number, because I've come from a lot of places you're just a number, but if I can create a place where people feel they're excited to come to work, not going, oh crap, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, I've got to get out of bed and go to work. They enjoy going to their work. If I can employ 50, 60 people and the business is ticking over awesome, and I've got people in place, that's how I can see it. I just want the business to keep growing and be, pretty much be a little like, what's that bread commercial, Crips.
Brand ambassador.
Yeah,
Brand
yeah,
ambassador.
Yeah, I want to, it's a Tassie brand.
Yeah.
I want Face Value to be a Tassie brand that people,
nice.
like, I don't care about trying to venture out to the mainland and stuff like that. I just want it to be a Tassie brand, a powerful brand, a trusted brand that everyone wants to use.
Yeah.
And yeah, just do that.
Love it.
Yeah. So do I.
Nice work.
Beautiful.
That's it, guys. Again, thank you very, very much for your time, Hamish.
Thanks for having me, Barry.
And on to the next one.
Beautiful.